Welcome, like the Mary Celestine here today. Welcome everyone, if you're watching on TV. I'm Councillor Lee Hunt, Cabinet Member for Planning, Policy and City Development. This meeting is being webcast to allow the public to attend remotely if they so wish. Please be advised that the public seating area is not in view of the camera used to webcast this meeting. If the continuous fire alarm sounds, please evacuate the room and public gallery by the stairwells. Do not attempt to use the lifts. Please assemble in front of the Queen Victoria's statue in Guildhall Square. In order to comply with the Guildhall Trust fire marshal regulations, anyone who signed in at the desk should sign out. May I draw everyone's attention to the fact that this meeting will be live streamed. Everyone speaking will be on camera. Members of the press and public are also permitted to record the meeting. So hopefully at least the news is watching, on the understanding that it neither disrupts the meeting nor records those stating explicitly they don't wish to be recorded. Please can everybody use the microphones and speak closely to the so that the sound can be picked up, and remember to switch them off when they're finished. So I have apologies for absence from Councillor Ryan Brent, who is the Conservative spokesperson, and so far as I am aware, we do not have a Labour spokesperson, but I'm aware that officers reached out to the Labour Party to send a representative along, but nothing has been heard back. And that's it. We have Councillor Madrick here on behalf of the Portsmouth Independents. So I have no interest to declare, and as I don't suppose you've got any interest to declare particularly, have you? No. I'm not aware of any deputations at this meeting. So Ian Maguire, who is the Assistant Director of Regeneration, and Lucy Howard, Head of Planning Policy, are here to present and introduce the report and answer any questions that I, or indeed Councillor Madrick, may have. Who's going first? Lucy, so would you like to introduce yourself? We'll go around the room first of all, I beg your pardon. Can we start with yourself, please, Karen?
Karen Martin, Democratic Services.
Thank you.
Ian Maguire, Assistant Director for Planning and Economic Growth.
Lucy Howard, Head of Planning Policy.
And Councillor George Madrick, the Party Leader of the Portsmouth Independents.
All right. Lucy, would you like to go ahead and introduce the report, please?
Thank you. We're here today to talk about the next step for the Portsmouth local plan. We're seeking your opinion on how to engage members on its preparation. And of course, you members are the decision makers. And as officers, we are looking for a strategic steer on emerging policies and allocations in the local plan. We do understand that you want to maximise opportunities for cross-party engagement. In the report, we suggest a number of workshops on the local plan. We have chosen policies and allocations with an amber RAG rating for these workshops. These are policies that we got substantial comments on at our last consultation in 2021. In terms of who we should ask to attend the workshops, we started with what we were discussing in order to work out who should attend. So, with citywide policies on things like housing and green space, we've asked the portfolio holder and the opposition spokespeople, and with allocations, we've asked the ward members. More detail is set out in the table, and open it to discussion. Thank you.
Mr. Maguire, is there anything that you would like to add, sir?
No, I think it's a relatively straightforward report, and it's for you to make the determination now of whether those topics are what you used to discuss, and take an opportunity to steer on for the production of your local plan, and how best you want to do that, and with whom in terms of invitations to those workshops.
All right, I'll come to Councillor Madrick shortly. So the report I'm looking at today was sent quite a while back to every member of the council, looking for responses. And it's an important report because this is how we are going to move forward and look at the most contentious issues policies rather, that will be in the city local plan eventually. But we got no responses from either our Conservative colleagues or our Labour colleagues. As I say, Councillor Madrick is here to talk to it today. And of my own group, I consulted them as well, and I had a number of responses which I sent to Mr Maguire. And as a result of those responses, I'm going to move a recommendation later on which enables much more flexibility around those who should attend than have been described just now. The reason that I want to do this is because I don't have the confidence right now that enough people will attend, simply because at my briefing meeting on this, nobody attended at all. Nobody has responded to this report and the email sent out from the officers, except that is the leader of the council and members of my group, which I transmitted to Mr Maguire, and as a result of which I'm going to I'm going to make a recommendation this afternoon. Now, I don't want to get off on the wrong foot with what we're going to do, and it is going to be intense, but we must get the city local plan right in a cross-party way to make sure it is inclusive of everybody's opinions, and that's what I've been trying to do ever since the word go. But sticking with the foot analogy, I'm afraid that our Labour and our Conservative colleagues have really got to pull their socks up, because just not showing up to things isn't good enough. So I hope very much that this will get back to them and that we see enough people coming to the workshops described in the report that will enable us to get a broad opinion of the particular policies that go into the city local plan. So I'm sorry to be sort of a bit telling people off a bit, but really they have got to improve. Councillor Madrick, would you like to add anything, or would you like to give us your opinion of how we're going to proceed? My thrust is cross-party working, because this is a hung council, and I think everybody really needs to be involved.
Yeah, I completely agree, Councillor Hunt. Cross-party working would be much better, but as you quite rightly say, unfortunately, you have to get the parties to turn up to actually make cross-party an effective method of doing this. And to say upon reflection, I don't know if you saw my post yesterday, but this year seems to be the year of not turning up to meetings. You know, we had a group leaders meeting the other day, no Labour or Conservative representative. We had the twinning meeting where we signed a twinning agreement with the Mayor of Nova Scotia. Once again, no Labour representative, no leader of the Conservative Party. We had a meeting the other day. Once again, no shows. We had the Conservatives requested in full council to have a company advisory board, if you remember, last year. And that was set up, and obviously to look at and scrutinise all the companies that we have interest in within Portsmouth. And just myself and Steve Pitt, Councillor Steve Pitt, turned up the other day. Once again, no Conservative and no Labour representative. So far this year, what are we on now, the 23rd, 24th of January, and I've been at this is my 8th meeting now where there's not been a representative from either Labour or Conservative. And unfortunately, they're the ones that are bringing it. They're the ones that are declining the local plan in full council. They're the ones that are declining the Tipner West project in council and asking it to come back, and then they can't be bothered to turn up to discuss it. As I've been very clear from the start, we're a very minority group, and we're a very infant group, with obviously myself only been in council for 18 months and our other two councillors literally coming in the last election cycle. So we're a very new group, and in relation to policy planning and stuff like that, we don't have between the three of us, other than personal experience, we don't have large-scale council experience in this department, and that's why we've made it very clear that we'll support the administration in its entirety and its recommendations in relation to the local plan and Tipner West project, because you guys have been around a lot longer than us, and we need to stop wasting money, because that's the thing, Councillor Hunt, I'm sure it annoys you too, is that the one thing I've learned since being here is that it seems that Labour and Conservatives say to the administration, please go away and create a new plan for us, and you come back and we spend money and we do consultations and we get a new plan. They come back and they say, we don't like that plan, go start another plan. And then you guys go away and start another plan because you've been told to by full council. Then we go spend more money and more time, and then they come back with the plan and say, no, we don't like that plan, go with another plan. And the cycle continues, and it's got to get to a point where it stops becoming political and we just do our jobs as councillors and put through this, so we can stop wasting time, stop wasting the taxpayers' money, and just get on with it, and just get on with it. But as I say, I definitely support cross-party working, but let's get the parties here.
Indeed, let's get this party started. So, yeah. So I'll just reiterate and summarise. I hope the others will.
Councillor Hust, apologies. Can I just add, for the record, as part of Councillor Brent's apologies for his last-minute work, it means he has made a statement that he's, having reviewed the report, that he supports cross-party working. So that was in his apology to Democratic Services, just so that you have that for the record as well.
Good. And it'd be nice if he showed up to the briefing to say so as well. So there we are. I think they have got to pull their socks up. There is now a strong track record just not showing up to things, and that has to change, not least because they're paid to do these things anyway. We've seen it around scrutiny as well. This is just for the record. They just haven't held scrutiny meetings either. And we need the administration, as part of effective local government, needs to be scrutinised. But that isn't happening, even though they were determined to take all the chairs. Anyway, I digress somewhat. Nevertheless, we've got to hope that they do pull their socks up. And what I'm going to do is make a decision that to approve the upcoming schedule of member workshops on the local plan, and decide that invitations will be issued to ensure cross-party input and engagement in the progression of the local plan. And note that emerging changes to legislation and national planning policies that affect the local plan and the main risk to the project. And that's my decision. All right. So unless anybody else has got anything important to add, I'll close the meeting. And thank you very much for your attendance.